Welcome into your Bruins fan review for the week that had games 36 through game 38. You had last Saturday we played the Predators, Sunday we played the Hurricanes, and this Thursday, just 2 days ago, we played the Devils. Now this went from really good to really bad. The start of the week against the Predators was very good, but the last two games were pretty rough. If you watch them, you know. And one thing I want to point out is because we lost two games, because some other teams played some games, we dropped in the standings from the first wild card spot to the second wild card spot. We are 2 points clear of the non-playoff spot, which is possessed by the Islanders. Islanders are the first team out. They're 2 points behind us. They have played two less games, so that's not good at all. But the thing that you can look positively at is we're only 1 point behind the Canadians, who are in the first wild card spot, only 3 points behind the Sabres, who are in that third divisional spot. Play the Sabres tonight, so if we win, we should be looking pretty solid at the moment to hopefully take back that third divisional spot, which I think we should definitely be in it by the end of the year. If not, kind of underperforming on the year if we do not get that third divisional spot. But the first game, the Predators, I thought the Bruins played a very, very solid game against one of the premier teams in the AHL, one of the better teams in the AHL. I believe their third best record in the Western Conference. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're around that spot at the moment. And Bergeron would make his return in this game. And anytime without Patrice Bergeron, your team is going to struggle. They're going to struggle at doing things that they normally don't struggle at, like puck transitions out of your own zone. He just makes the game easier for players around him. And then when he's out, a lot of players have to step up and do things they normally don't have to do. They have to give a little more effort that they have to make up for when Patrice is out. And it's really hard to do that. So having him back was a great thing to see last Saturday. Now, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first. McAvoy would see Patrice Bergeron, and this was created because Ryan Ellis decided to go right at Brad Marchand. And when you go overly aggressive, it can take you out of the play, and this is what happened to Ryan Ellis. McAvoy spots Bergeron going to the slot, wide open, time to go backhand, forehand, and roofs it on Pecorine. Beautiful move, and pretty dumb by Ellis to put a beating on a guy who he didn't really have to put a beating on. Halfway through the second, McAvoy would score, but this goal would be called back. This goal was called back because David Backes' stick was in Pecorine's legs, pushed him in the net. I think this should have been a goal, though, because I think Rene had more than enough time to recover. But we were still leading, so I wasn't too upset. But at the same time, Rene needs to try on that. The reason he isn't in position to save it is because he lays on his back staring at the rafters from the ice, for a good 2 seconds, it feels like, before he even tries to get up. And I think it still should have counted, and I was kind of upset at the time, but looking back, I'm not as upset seeing how the game would go. Shortly after, Johansson shot from the top of the circle, and this one just beats Halak near post. Well disguised the way he masked his wrist shot from the top of the circle, Johansson I'm talking about, and he just picks it. And, you'd like to see Halak save that, but it's a good shot from scoring area. Top of the circle, those are good areas to take shots from. You're going to score occasionally, and Johansson, as I said, masked it pretty well, so you couldn't really tell where it was going, and it just beat Halak. 1-1. At the end of the period, Matthias Ekholm with a boneheaded roughing call. The whistle blew, period was over, and then he hit Pastrnak, so the Bruins would start the third period on the power play. And they would take advantage of this. So Bergeron would get his second goal of the game, which he would put the Bruins up 2-1, 300th goal of his career, which is pretty damn impressive. And Bergeron's been around a while, so he's probably gonna get. Maybe he'll finish around 400. Who knows? At the rate he's scoring, 4 25-goal seasons. Who knows? Maybe he gets to 400. Hopefully he gets to 400. I'd love to see that. But Marchand, good work to get in front. Bruins crash the front of the net. Bergeron finds the puck and puts it past Rene. Yossi was kind of crouching into Rene here, which kind of made it easier for Bergeron to finish 2-1. My photo was kind of, I have notes. 9:17 into the third. Kyle Turris again from the top of the circle would snipe lower left side on Halak. Another good wrist shot from the top of the circle. Hits post and it made a very loud sound. You could hear this one probably in the upper levels and all that. But Moore was kind of screening Halak here, so I don't really place the blame on Halak this one as much as the first one. Halak on the first one, he should have saved it. This one, I thought he was kind of screened, so I give him a little more of a pass here. You like to see him save both. But that would make the game 2-2. And then Hartman trips Pastrnak, go to the power play. Pastrnak cross-eyes pass to Marchand. Marchand one-timer beats Rene for the Bruins to go back up 3-2. 2 power play goals. The power play was clinical for the Bruins in this one. I believe they finished 2 of 3, and that can be the difference a lot of nights. Bergeron forces a turnover. This is still late in the third. Creates a 2-on-1 for Marchand and Pastrnak. Marchand to Pasta. Weird one-timer. He doesn't catch all of it, but enough to the point it beats Rene. And the Bruins go up 4-2. Kuraly gets an empty netter. And that goal, the Marchand to Pastrnak one-timer goal, all created by the Bergeron turnover. They gave him an assist for it. At first they didn't, but they went back and rewarded him the assist, which I believe he deserved. The Kuraly empty netter put the cherry on the top of the cake, or the cherry on top of the sundae, so to speak. It was just nice to see Kuraly get on the board, and it sealed the victory. Bergeron 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Marchand, Pastrnak 1 goal, 2 assists. Both of them had that. McAvoy 2 assists. Good chance creation by McAvoy. McAvoy had a great game against Nashville, and then on the back-to-back, the next game he had a pretty bad game, but I have to praise him for how good he played versus Nashville before I tear him down a little when he played Carolina, because you got to praise people on their good days, which against Nashville, great day, one of his better games. Carolina, pretty bad game, and we're going to move on to Carolina right now. And it was Hartford night in Carolina, which one thing that I had an issue with, not the Jack Edwards thing, I don't really care about the number 19 thing. That didn't bother me. I thought Jack went a little too far with that. I thought he was kind of ripping Dougie more than like the actual number thing, but whatever. I thought the thing that bothered me is they didn't have the Whalers logo at center ice. Just thought, so if you're doing a Whalers night, you have the big hurricane in the middle. It just seems kind of odd. They had everything else, though. They had the jerseys, they had the brass bonanza. They just didn't have the logo at center ice, and it didn't make sense to me. But about 20 seconds in the game, Jordan Martinook lays out Carlo on the boards with a big body hit. Old-time hockey there. Ferland would then high stick back as Bruins power play. Krug shot from the point. You got Donato, what Donato does well was displayed in this game. What he does well is he's great in front of the net, and he has a wicked shot. This was displaying his good ability in front of the net. Creates havoc, gets a puck on net, saved by Mrazek, hits off Trevor Van Riemsdyk and goes past Mrazek. Donato picks up the goal, 4th of the season. And, you like to see that from Ryan Donato. Good young player, and he has potential to be a 30-goal scorer in this league one day with his shot. We'll get to that later. Bruins would kill a 5-on-3. You love to see the good penalty killing. 11:09. This goal comes out of nowhere. The Bruins would go up 2-0 off a Steven Kampfer bomb from the point. It's a seeing eye shot, and it picks top left corner. It might have hit a little post there. Mrazek, I don't think, saw it. He had no chance because this was labeled. But when Kampfer scores and Donato scores in the first period, you expect the Bruins to come away with a win. You expect them to pile on. You expect momentum to just take them all the way through. But 7 minutes left. Teuvo Teravainen gets it in the corner in the Bruins zone. Throws it towards the net. McAvoy goes to play with his hand. Unlucky, really. Just hits off McAvoy's hand and goes past Rask. And McAvoy maybe shouldn't have played it because of how fast it was coming in, where it was coming in, where he was positioned. But, instincts take over. And you can't blame McAvoy too much for trying to glove it down. And he was probably going to try to get it out of the zone right after that. But unfortunately, he goes off his glove and goes into the net. Rough start, and this is what you call a momentum turner because this really just flipped the game on its head. Anyway, that would make it 2-1. I think that's wrong. Did I forget to mention something? Oh yeah, 2-1 Boston. I was thinking 2-1 in Carolina because eventually they score a lot of goals. So I was like, maybe I forgot one. No, it's 2-1 Boston at this point. End of the first period. Svechnikov to box for high sticking on Krug. He's high stick Krug. Punked up the. Sorry guys, when you do a long video like this, sometimes you make mistakes. The puck was dumped into the Bruins zone. Rask can't go into the zone in the corner because it's a penalty if he plays it there. Kind of has to just put it back into the corner. And then McAvoy, this is a bad move by McAvoy. He decides to take the puck when really he should just kind of bat it around the back of the net along the boards to his D partner who's coming into the zone. I think McAvoy, because the D partner was going to be a little later than usual, decided he's going to take it himself. Bad move because Teuvo Teravainen was right there to pressure him. Forces a turnover on McAvoy. Good play by Teuvo. Gets it to Aho in the slot, and he just forces a puck right through Rask. And this one, you got to put on McAvoy because that's not the smart play to do to take it yourself. You should bat around the boards there, especially when you have a forechecker on you like Teuvo was. Bad play by McAvoy. Unlucky play the first time. Bad play by him the second time. And he You tell on the bench he was pretty frustrated with himself, understandably so. Probably one of his worst games of his career, but it happens to young players. That's all I'll say. It happens. He's going to be a stud, but you have some rough nights here and there, and this was a rough night. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better. 12:49 left in the period, and McAvoy takes a puck up, goes around the net, gets hooked/high sticked in the face by Aho. This creates a turnover that leads to a 3-on-1. Eventually he comes back to Aho, and Aho snipes past Tuukka Rask, and turnover by McAvoy, but I honestly think there should have been a penalty called on this one. Really, he has his hand and stick like across the body like that on McAvoy, which caused him to lose the puck. That's just like it's a high stick or stick to face, whatever you want to call it. It's a penalty nonetheless, and McAvoy didn't deserve this, especially with how bad the night was already going. You can make an argument he should have got rid of the puck sooner, but honestly, there's no defense for that. There's no reason Aho should be able to get away with that, but he does. Finishes it, and they go up 3-2, and 3 goals, all with McAvoy involved, and you could see on the bench. And John Moore was doing a good job talking to McAvoy, trying to comfort him. He was telling him it's gonna get better. It's just one of those nights. That's what John Moore was telling him on the bench. You can see he was talking to the young D-man, and John Moore is an experienced D-man, so he's giving McAvoy some wisdom, some advice there. You like to see that. You like to see veteran players with their veteran leadership. And John Moore, who's a fairly silent guy, you don't hear much about him, but he does little things that you notice if you watch closely. Then another just kind of lazy defense on a face-off. Face-off one, gets to Falk at the point, shoots it, and beats Rask from the point. Rask is kind of screened. Wouldn't blame him too much, but he finds Twine Falk, that is. 4-2 Hurricanes, 8 minutes left in the second. And that's 4 unanswered goals in the second period. In a row. They weren't all in the second. One of them was in the first. But 4 unanswered goals. Carolina has a dominant second period. They outshot us like 17-8 or something like that. Very trash second period. And it was just all the wind out of the sails for the Bruins. Very depressing to watch. 4 minutes left in the second. Backus, good pass to Cave to start the breakout. Cave immediately passes Donato as he enters the zone. Donato takes it to the top of the circles and snipes top left on Peter Mrazek. And this is what I'm talking about. In front of the net, he's good. Brilliant shot Donato has. Potential to score 30 goals in this league, just needs to find his two-way game, and then he'll be a mainstay on probably in the top 6 of the Bruins one day. Not yet, but he'd be a great depth scorer if he can get it all together by the end of this year for the playoffs. And you need all 3. You need 3 lines to score to win a Stanley Cup, and he could be a big part of that if he gets it going late in the year. Have faith in Ryan Donato. Be there the whole season to watch him progress, because it should be a good thing to watch by the end of the season, in my opinion. I expect him to really light it up come the end of the season, because he's a smart kid. I think he's going to get his game down, and I think he's going to score a ton of goals towards the end of the year. That's my prediction. But he sniped on Mrazek 5-3. Wind out of sails. The Bruins lose 5-3. Very sloppy game. I'm not going to really talk about anything specific besides that. Just a lot of bad turnovers. 2 shorthanded goals by the Hurricanes. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention. Yeah, how could I not mention? The 5th goal was an adventure from Rask. Yeah. So the puck gets dumped in the own zone. The Bruins are on a power play. Rask goes to play it behind the net. Somehow he fumbles it behind him in front of his net. Falls, and then Tavo with Tuukka facing the board, so he's not facing the guy who's going to shoot the puck, because he went on an adventure, fell because he tried saving it, and, then Tavo just roofs it. Watch the goal. I can't explain that. That's not a hockey play. That's just a boneheaded play by your goalie. Went down to sales. He did something early in the year like this. I can't remember. But there was a game where we were kind of still in it, and then Tuukka did one of these, and then you were just all wins out of the sails. All of it. It's all gone when your goalie does something like that for the most part. Second time it's happened this year. Second time Tuukka's done that to us. But really bad games from some Bruins. It wasn't just McAvoy and Rask. There are others who didn't have their best nights. A lot of them played lazy. A lot of them played sloppy. It's just Tuukka and McAvoy had glaring errors, whereas other people's errors weren't exposed, I guess you should say. Because the mistakes that Tuukka and McAvoy made just happened to go to the best players in Carolina, Aho and Teravainen, who both had 4-point games, and, Teravainen got 2 of the luckiest goals you're ever going to see. But Bruins lose 5-3, sloppy. And you know what's kind of weird? If I told you the Bruins played the Predators, Devils, and Hurricanes, and they only won 1 game, your guess probably wouldn't be the Predators. probably be the Devils or Hurricanes, but not the case. This is a weird team, and we got weird reviews talking about weird things. So let's move on to the Devils game. So you get Chara, Miller, and DeBrusk all back. So you're expecting to run over the last place team in the league without Taylor Hall. Noted Charlie McAvoy would miss this game. Charlie McAvoy has a lower body injury from blocking a shot somewhere along the lines. Couldn't find it specifically, but he should be back for the Winter Classic, I think. So that should be good, But let's talk about something that's not that good, and this is this game. 25 seconds into the game, Damon Severson gets a goal from a shot coming down in from the point. And you might be asking, how does a point man like Damon Severson get so open? Well, I'll tell you. On the face-off that happened in the other part of the zone, the other part of the ice, all the way down in the Boston Bruins offensive zone, off the face-off, it gets kind of congested. And in that congestion, Blake Coleman spears Marchand in the throat. Marchand is down on the ice because when you get hit with a stick in the throat, it kind of hurts. So he goes to the bench. He hobbles to the bench slowly because, he probably can't breathe because he got hit in the neck with a stick. Heinen comes on the ice, and by the time Heinen gets in the zone, Marchand's assignment would be Severson. So Heinen has to get there. He can't get there in time because Marchand is too slow to get to the bench. Severson gets a shot and picks, I believe it was Halak in this game. No, it's Rask. It's Rask in this game. My bad. And, kind of unfortunate that they missed a call that was clearly a penalty, and it leads to a goal for the Devils. So that was kind of crappy. And that was only 25 seconds into the game, so, great way to start. Then Palmieri would get a point shot, saved by Rask. The save bounces off Rask's leg into Carlo and past Rask. So they would go up 2-0 early on two kind of crap goals. One that shouldn't have counted or shouldn't even happen, and the other one's just an unfortunate bounce, kind of like the McAvoy hand one. Carlo, you can only blame him so much for being there. That's all you can really say. He was just there, hit off him and went in. Can't really blame him there. But New Jersey 2-0 after one period. Scummy first goal, lucky second goal. The Bruins would get the puck into New Jersey zone. This is second period. Wagner gets the puck on the boards and reverses it down. Good in-zone offense. That's a system type thing. You get it around the boards. But Ben Lovejoy decides to finish a hit on Wagner. You may have watched Chris Wagner plays. He's a very physical specimen. He's a very good hitter. And he drops Ben Lovejoy when Ben Lovejoy tries to hit him. This is the guy who's supposed to cover Chris Wagner. So when the puck gets reversed around the boards, it eventually works its way up the boards to John Moore at the point. John Moore takes it low and sees that Chris Wagner's wide open because Chris Wagner's already taken out his guy. He cross-crease passes it to Wagner, and Wagner finishes it over Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood, young goalie, probably never seen him play because this is only his second NHL game. And he looked good, but Wagner beats him on this one. So that's 2-1 right now, and we go to the third period. Bruins win a face-off. Krug gets it, decides to shoot, and this is a boneheaded play right here because you got here's how close Blake Coleman was to Krug, and he decided to shoot it straight into his shin, and Coleman goes the other way and dekes on Rask and finishes it, gets a goal, and puts the Devils right up 3-1. Great job, Krug. That was pretty stupid. But then the Bruins in the third as well. Carlo and Krejci can't keep it in at the point. Both of them just can't keep it in. Miles Wood sees the open puck. Krug sees the open puck. Miles Wood is a fast dude for a guy who's a fairly big size. So he gets there first, bodies Krug because Krug is a small defenseman, and this is exposing a weakness of Krug's defensive game here. Shields him off, gives it to Heischer, who's coming in the middle. Heischer gets basically a one-on-one with Rask, finishes past Rask, and the Devils go up 4-1. And then the Bruins would pull their goalie late in the third. Great, smart play by DeBrusk here because Vatanen, it gets dumped into the zone by the Bruins. The Bruins dump it in. Vatanen gets behind his net, slaps it off the boards. DeBrusk knows this, so he goes like this on the wall, stops it. My Christmas sweater just fell on me, but I don't care. Stops it, gets it down, throws it middle, and Bergeron's right there to deflect it in. He doesn't deflect it with his stick. It hits off his shin and goes past Blackwood. Smart play by DeBrusk for that goal, even though at the end of the day it didn't matter too much. You like to see it from your young players. 4-2. And then I believe Blake Coleman would get the empty netter eventually. And you lose to the Devils and the Hurricanes, two of the not as good teams in the Eastern Conference. And then you got Buffalo coming up. So it doesn't get easier tonight. It doesn't. So two games that you probably should, on paper, win those games, and you don't win either of them. Two of those games, the two teams are missing two of their better offensive players. Hurricanes are missing Jordan Staal. New Jersey was missing their best player by a country mile. Last year's MVP Taylor Hall, and you can't beat them into the worst team in the league, which is kind of, well, now they're probably not the worst team in the league. They're probably second worst now because they got those points from you. Just pretty trash. And Backus would get suspended in this game. Well, he hit someone in the head. He hit Coleman in the head, elbow to the head, shoulder to the head, whatever you want to call it. Gets 3 games. I already mentioned. I think it's a fine suspension. He deserves it. You don't like to see those hits to the head. He got rid of the puck, and then Backus just drilled him in the head, and you don't like that. 3 games, fair. But that means the lines are being shaken up. Marchand's missing this game because the lines are being shaked up because of that. So on the first line, you got Heinen, Bergeron, and Pasternak. Okay, fine. You basically just move up Heinen. Heinen's a decent 2-way player. Hopefully he can finish some of those chances because he's been creating some chances lately. Heinen hasn't been as bad as people will tell you he is. People don't like Dan Heinen because his game isn't flashy. He doesn't bring much offensively, but he's been creating chances lately, and I think he could get some points tonight. Second line is Nordstrom, Krejci, and DeBrus. Fine second line. I actually like that combo a lot for what we have right now. Third line, Donato, JFK, and Achari. Achari comes back into the lineup, gets moved over to the third line. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure how I feel about Achari. I'm not sure he should be on the Bruins in their top 12, but with injury to Backus, I guess that's where he's going to fit until Backus comes back. Fourth line, you got Cave, Wagner, and Corrali. I'm kind of surprised Cave is centering the line, but I do not mind that fourth line at all. I think they will do fine. For defensive pairs tonight, you got Chara and Carlo. You got Grzelcyk and Miller, and then Krug and Moore. I'm fine with those pairs. I think they're fine pairs. I think altogether that's probably one of the best top 6s in the league, and they don't even have McAvoy in there. So they go up to like probably top 3 in the league when they get McAvoy back. As you can see, the Bruins let up the second least goals per game at 2.6, but they can't score. They're 24th in the league. They have 2.79 goals per game, and that's pretty unacceptable. And the Bruins would be a much more elite team if they could get that number up there. So Don Sweeney, please trade for the top 6 forward I've been crying for since probably I started making these videos in March. So please, Don, please do something and get a top 6 forward. We need scoring. Look at these guys down the right side here. Look at them. Look at the drop off between Krug and DeBrus. And DeBrus has missed a few games. Then you got McAvoy. He's good. And Dan Heinen with 10 points, man. You need better depth scoring. You need a real second line forward. It's unacceptable what they got going right now. But it's unacceptable to have this good of a team and you have the pieces to make them better, and you haven't used them to get a real top 6 forward. And I know you think a lot of people think kids will pan out. Why trade prospects and picks when the kids are going to pan out? Well, if the kids pan out, you don't really need the prospects and picks as much as you do if all the kids pan out. So get yourself that top 6 winger. That's how I look at it. Get yourself that Mark Stone. Get yourself that Artemi Panarin. Spend a little on yourself. You deserve it. You got a good thing going here. Make it better. Don't miss the playoffs, please. Get that top 6 forward. But overall, I'd say it's a pretty crappy week. Especially since you can argue that Nashville game at this point is way beyond that. But they played great against Nashville. Underwhelming performance, sloppy performance against the Carolina Hurricanes, and just a really lazy, bad performance against the Devils. A lot of mistakes. And I hope tonight, since Chara, DeBrusque, and Miller have all played their first game back from injury, I hope they take a step forward tonight and look a little bit better because all 3 of them didn't look their greatest. Even though DeBrusque made that great assist, overall his game was kind of But, that's usually how it is when you make your first game back from injury. Anything you want to talk about in the comments? I know I talked quite a bit. I'm like at 24 minutes now. If you made it to this point in the video, put a thumbs up if you like it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to support my Bruins coverage. Leave a comment. I respond to them all. And I'll see you next time for the next Bruins fan review. And also, I'm not streaming for tonight's game. I'm hanging out with a few friends and watching it. So don't look for me on Twitch because I won't be there tonight. The next stream I'm doing is I believe Wednesday for the Rangers-Penguins game. Not a Bruins game. I'm doing a non-Bruins game. And then Thursday, I believe the Bruins are playing don't know off the top of my head. Let me check real quick. Because I just want to make sure I get these out to you before I get you the schedule of my streams. That way you can know when to expect them. January. I expect you guys listen to this like it's kind of like a podcast. But they play Buffalo tonight, obviously. Thursday against Calgary because Tuesday I'm not going to stream for the Winter Classic. But Thursday against Calgary is the next Bruins stream. Wednesday, Penguins, Rangers. So if you want to get my thoughts on some other teams, check that out. Remember, subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this much of me talking. And love you guys. Peace. Have a great week. Happy New Year's.